Hello everyone and welcome back to the Owen Glendower Model Railway. In this video we will be showing the progress so far made on the Hornby Loco Drive Saint, converting a tender drive locomotive to loco drive. Since it was last seen on the channel with the first video, which was made several months ago, unfortunately, the original motor, which was part of the Hornby Hall chassis, sadly burned out. Taking advantage of the fact that the locomotive needed work, I'd taken it to my friends at the GLR Bespoke Services to commence with the rest of some of the customization which the loco has undergone. Since it was last on the layout, it has now a upgraded Peter Spares X03 motor, allowing it to pull more coaches and be more powerful on reliability. Originally, it was only capable of hauling about 4 coaches. Any more than that, it would be spinning its wheels and struggling. Now, since the upgraded Peter Spares X03 motor has been installed on its model, the performance of its model has improved very significantly, to a point that in the video you'll be seeing of it going around the layout, it can haul more than 6 coaches. But just for demonstration case reasons, which you'll be only hauling 6 coaches. For anyone who wants to upgrade their old Hornby Triang models, I would heavily recommend anyone to go with the Peter Spares upgraded X03 motor. It operates on lower amps and it is more pretty much the equivalent of a 3-pole motor. The upgrades certainly make improvements. When you last seen its locomotive, it had the loco part was in a BR black livery and the tender was different. Since then it has received a new tender and the body shell on the loco part has been painted in a Great Western green. Details have made with 1 or 2 improved details added to the loco itself. Unfortunately, we're still waiting on the number plates for the locomotive as well as the nameplates, which are being custom made for the locomotive as we speak. Once this locomotive is completed, we'll be showing off a complete video of this locomotive. I'll show you the little bits of details just in a moment. Here it is on the main body of the Saint. You could see the Great Western green, which has been applied beautifully by Martin on the original Hornby Triang Hall chassis. It's just amazing that the fact that Hornby could have done this ages ago, with the fact that the Hornby Saint was based off the Hornby Triang Hall chassis. It's just a disappointment in my opinion, but Hornby has hopefully changed since then. And please, Hornby, if you do watch this video, please reintroduce the Hornby Saint class in the railroad range, because if you do, I'll be more than happy to buy one, no questions asked. And now we go over to the tender. On the original tender which was used for this locomotive, which both of these tenders are based off the Hornby County class, which is the closest tender I could find for this locomotive. Unfortunately, originally I accidentally damaged the tender whilst dealing with the drawbar. But Martin has upgraded the drawbar since then, so that bit of inconsistency with the maintenance of this locomotive won't happen again. You can see these molded handrails and a little bit of crack. This is where my finger is, where I originally accidentally damaged it. But on its new tender I found on eBay for barely a tenner, which is worthwhile and makes the locomotive look the part. As well as that, the inspirational reason why I decided to build this locomotive, I was able to see up close and personal last weekend, was Lady of Legend at the Somerset and Eastern Railway. That with Didcot using a Hall class for their basis for their saint convinced me to build my saint using a Hall class. Just one more little detail on the smoke box itself. It shows off how far I gone to make sure every little bit of detail of this locomotive is aimed as accuracy as possible. On the smoke box, we got the running number, which will be changing soon for the custom name and number. I will not be revealing the name of the locomotive in the video because I think it will be a beautiful surprise for when the locomotive's name is revealed. If you look at the just below the key on the smoke box itself, you'll see the code, the 86A, which is a shed code where this locomotive, which would state where this locomotive would be stored. My research into the Saint class revealed that that 86A would be part of the original route of the Saints. And with this, it would say that this very locomotive would have been shedded in the sheds at Newport Station. Little details like that makes this locomotive a little bit more special. With that, we'll show off the improved performance on the track of the Loco Drive Saint class. Before we go off to the track, I'd like to say a big thank you to my friends at the GLR Bespoke Services, Alex, for encouraging me to start this build to begin with, and Martin and Stephen for helping out with the customization of this locomotive, as well as Headley for helping me finding a screw that would connect the Saint's body to the whole chassis. Now it's time to go down to the track to see how excellent this locomotive will run around the track. Here it is, the Loco Drive Hornby Saint class, ready to show how powerful that new upgraded Peter Spares XO3 motor can really do. As part of the demonstration for how powerful this motor has increased the performance of my Hornby Loco Drive Saint, I thought I'd make it a nice, fun running session. So the Saint class is hauling 6 Great Western coaches. And they look splendid with her. And I think that with that upgraded motor, she'll have no problem whatsoever in pulling these coaches. The theme for this running session is the steam gala at the East Somerset Railway, which me and my brother attended to not long ago. So I thought it'd be an excellent idea to get the locomotives which I have in my collection, which are closest to what ran at the East Somerset Railway steam gala. So with that in hand, we have the Hatton's Andrew Bartlett. I know it was only running up and down the line for a tenner, so people get a chance to feel what it's like to drive a real steam engine, which me and my brother had the honour of driving Lady Nin. It was fun, and amazingly how energetic Lady Nin is. I have this Hatton's Andrew Bartlett is the closest what I have to Lady Nin, but I'm not a big fan of having locos on my track running light, so I had some mineral wagons, which these ones will have their own little review in the future with some more. I thought, have a bit of fun, have an American caboose on the back end, just for laughs. I know that the Andrew Bartlett would never haul a caboose, but hey, with the railway being based on a preservation railway, it's just all good old-fashioned fun. And on the third line we have a Batman 45XX large prairie with some traditional Great Western coaches. This should be a running session I will enjoy indeed. I hope you all do so as well. Now it's time to let these beautiful locomotives show us what they are made of. a truly impressive and mind-blowing experience. This locomotive hauled those coaches like it was not hauling anything at all. Truly impressive. And for anyone who wants to upgrade their classic Hornby or Triang locomotives, I would heavily recommend anyone into buying the Peter Spares upgraded X03 motor. You will not regret it. It may have a bit of a high price tag, but it took them over 10 years of development into making this perfect motor that could breathe life into old classic models or mad idiots like myself in turning a Hornby Hall class into a Saint class. Once again, I would like to thank my friends at the GLR Bespoke Services, as well as Headley from Western Valley Models. I did not not given this motor by Peter Spares, but I would heavily recommend anyone into buying it because it makes such an improvement. You will be receiving an update once this locomotive is fully complete, because I have many more details I would like to add to this beautiful locomotive to make it complete. That concludes my video. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe to the Lone Ranger Motoring channel. With that said and done, see you next time.